Welcome live to the Get Up Girl podcast. I am your host and your gal, Joanna Vargas. And today I am recording this podcast on all the visual platforms as a video. And I'll be doing this more often throughout the month. And so I'm going live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and probably a few others that I forgot to mention. Thank you so much for being here. And let's jump right into the show. This show came up because when I coach my clients for business and for life coaching and through my workshops, a big question that I get is, well, I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is in life. Joanna, I'm still working on what it is that I really have a passion for. I'm still taking time to figure out what it is that I want to do. And I'm here to tell you that that was the biggest lie that I ever bought when I was learning about business, when I was learning about life, coming up as a young adult, coming up as a child, even to today. You hear it, very, very often. We will hear, what is your passion? And I do want to jump in and talk about the word passion. Before the 1950s, the word passion, and I wrote it down, I looked it up. You can look it up yourself. You can Google it in just uh, in Google, or you can also look it up in the Webster Dictionary. But before the 1950s, a lot of the words changed. A lot of people don't know that. So, what the true meaning of a word has been changed throughout the years. And the true meaning of passion means the suffering and death of Christ or of Jesus. And I don't want to suffer or die and on the cross. And so that's what passion means. And the other definition of passion here is it's actually interesting. It is strong and barely controlled emotions. I'm going to say that one more time. Strong and barely controlled emotions. So passion means like you can't control your emotions, and it can mean a gazillion type of emotions. So I ask you, is it really a passion? Is that the true word for it? Or is it what is going to be fun for you? And I invite you to change the energy of what's going to be fun for you. I was having a conversation yesterday with my bestie, and we were talking about what little kids do this all the time. They're like, "Ooh, what's next? Ooh, what are we going to do next?" And as adults, sometimes it could drive you bananas because we're like, "Next, we just did this. Now you want to do this?" But it's that childlike excitement. It's that childlike, "Ooh, that was fun. Now what's next?" And as adults, we come in and we're so cute. We will sometimes rain on their parade. And I want to tap back into that as an adult that I had as a child of the what is next energy. And so I'm here to tell you that that is such a lie that you're going to find your passion, that you are going to find the one thing that you're going to be good at. You're going to find your love. And I'm here to tell you that you have a million, bajillion, gazillion loves and purposes here on this life. And I wonder if our purpose of life is just to have fun. And I wonder if our purpose of life is just to enjoy it. As soon as I got that, I learned that tool, what if life is just to have fun? I was blindsided. I'm like, no, it can't just be to have fun. And then a facilitator asked me, well, what is the purpose then for you? And I started to go into, well, it's to make the world a better place, and it's to set the future for the next people, et cetera, et cetera. And then she asked me, yeah, is that true for you? And it wasn't true. I could feel the lies coming out of my mouth. It felt like a lie. It didn't feel light. It felt very heavy. It felt restricted. It didn't feel fun when I said it. And then she said, well, what if you say life is just meant to have fun? And I said it out loud. She's like, say that 3 times. Life is meant to have fun. Life is meant to have fun. Life is meant to have fun. And I started to laugh. I started to smile. And light is true and heavy is false. And so it was so light for me. I'm like, yeah, what if the purpose of life is just to have fun? What if the purpose of life is just to enjoy it? What if the purpose of life is just to go, hey, what's next? And I totally get it if we were brainwashed to think that no, we have to find the purpose, it has to be hard. We have to make it worthwhile. And what if the purpose of life is just to have fun? And what if we have 1,000,000,000 gajillion purposes and passions that we want to have? Hey, Yvette, thanks for watching. I'm glad you love this. So, I'm here to tell you that one of the big lies that we bought is that we're going to find that one thing. And I've owned businesses for over 20 years, and I'm here to tell you all my businesses change. I get bored. I sell them. I start a new one. Like I'm like on my 30th business. People go 30. And in my mind, I'm going, yeah, that's not enough. Not that it's enough because I want to prove and push uphill. That's not the energy. The energy is like, ooh, what's next? What do I get to play with next? What do I get to create next? That childlike energy of what's next? And what if we bought the lie that we're trying to find the one thing? So when we're trying to find the one thing, we're never, ever, ever, ever going to find it. Because then once you think that you got it, and then you make a choice, and then you get bored, you make yourself wrong for being bored. And then you're like, oh, there must be something wrong with me because I made the wrong choice. You never made the wrong choice. You didn't make a wrong choice. It's just maybe you want to have another choice, your next choice. It's not a wrong choice. You're never, ever, ever wrong. It's just a next choice. You know, I had my dance studio, and one day I just went, I'm done. Like that's how simple it was. And then I sold it, and it just became more dramatic than it was required to be. Everyone didn't understand why I left. And I'm like, it was just done. It's like Seinfeld, if you're a Seinfeld fan. He was just like, it was done. Next, people that just go, it's just time to be done. You know, one of my favorite bands, Blink 182, and Tom was one of the guitar players. And one day he just said, I'm done. And he left the band. And as a fan, are like, no, you're supposed to stay in the band forever and ever. And when you see interviews with him or documentaries, he's like, I was just done. That's it. That's it. You all made it bigger than it needed to be. You created rumors, you created stories of why I left. I just was done. For him, it was like, what's next? And he created another band and did other things. So I wonder if how we can energetically tap into even more of that energy without making us wrong for thinking that we've made the wrong choice. If you make a choice, you get bored or you didn't like it. It was just a choice. And my favorite quote, one of them, but I have a lot, is choice creates awareness. And what we are taught to believe is that awareness creates choice. That once we know, once we get it, once we think about it, once we get the pros and cons and then have the awareness, then we make the choice. And actually, it's the other way around. Once you make a choice, then you'll have awareness. All my parents out there, how many do you have kids? They make a choice to do soccer. They make a choice to take dance classes. They try it, then they go, I don't like it. And you're like, what? You're going to stick with it to the end, right? But they made the choice. They now have awareness that they don't like it and they want to try something different. And I am completely aware that that doesn't change for us as adults. We're just taught to take it out of us, to uncreate that. And like, if you made a choice, if you made a decision, it's forever and ever and ever. And you have to stick with that soccer team forever. And like write it out. And what if you just go, hey, I tried it and it's not for me? It's not just, it's not right now. Maybe I'll come back to it. So with business, a lot of business owners go with a coach, they go with a workshop, and they think that I'm going to learn, and now I'm going to have the awareness, and now I'm going to make the choice. And what if you make the choice, then you have the awareness? I mean, so many times on my team, my JV team, when they work with me, I don't have the answers. I really never have the answers. I'm like, this is what we're going to choose. We're going to try this. We're going to see how it works. Oh, I've made many dumb choices. And as I'm in the choice, I'm like, yeah, that's dumb. But we're just going to write it through and laugh through it and make another choice later. Made the choice, had the awareness that it didn't work, and now I can make another choice. but I wouldn't know that that choice wasn't the greatest unless I made it. I had to make that choice. And I wasn't wrong and I didn't fail. I just made a choice and go, oh, that was kind of dumb. All right, let's choose something different. That's it. It's really, really simple. So the biggest lie that I ever bought that really slowed me down, it slowed me down because I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to get the right choice, to get the awareness. I was waiting and waiting to go, okay, I have to know exactly everything before I start it. When last thing I'm going to tie this in a bow is the biggest thing I hate is a business plan. I'm like, oh, I have to do a business plan. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because how can I write this business plan when I don't even know what the business is yet? So yeah, I will write it just because people need to see it, etc. But I'm like, I'm just going off what I think or what I would like it to be. But you will not know until you make a choice, until you actually start the business. Then you'll know and go, oh, okay, this works. This didn't work. Okay, now I'm going to make a different choice. When Instagram started, it was like a check-in app, like almost like Foursquare. It was for you to check in places. And then people started posting photos, and that was the most popular. So then they made a choice. It created awareness. They said, oh, people like photos. So then they turned it into a photo gallery. Now it's mostly video. Do you see what I'm saying? If Instagram would have said, no, I made a choice, we made a decision, it has to be this forever and ever and ever. And that's what we're doing many times with our businesses, with our lives. We make a choice and we think it's a decision because a decision is concrete. It's as hard as this glass right here. And a choice just gives you awareness for a small amount of time. And then you go, oh, okay, now would I like to choose? Oh, now would I like to choose? Oh, now what would I like to choose? That's choice. That's the difference between choice and decision. And I make choices. I don't make decisions because decisions are till death do you part, forever and ever and ever. And I'm like, I'm going to make a choice and I can always change my mind. And are you willing to be that different? I am. Are you willing to join me and be that different and be that person that makes different choices many, many, many times? So thank you so much for listening. I love and appreciate every single one of you. And if this spoke to you, I would love to hear it in a DM on Instagram or Facebook, anywhere. And that's at Joanna Vargas Official. And I will see you next time. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Get Up Girl podcast. Love and adore every single one of you. And I'll see you next time.